How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to be playing ourselves a fan reimagining tonight of a somewhat forgotten about Sonic game from the Game Gear in particular. We're going to be playing Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. A little bit of backstory here for this specific title in question. I have never beaten Sonic Triple Trouble, the original game. Back in the day, I have played a couple levels of this on the Sonic Adventure DX collection of Game Gear games. So I have played some Triple Trouble before, but I never got that far into the game as a kid, and I never went back to play more of this in my adult years. Always wanted to, so I've been waiting for some kind of like modern re-release of Triple Trouble to go back. And while there have been some Game Gear re-releases over the years on like a lot of different services, I've just never gone back to play Triple Trouble. But fans have actually made the game into a 16-bit style in a sense of like the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive Sonic games. So let's go ahead and swap over feeds here, as I want to go ahead and talk about this one a little bit on the actual website made for Triple Trouble 16-bit here. So the tagline for this specific version of the game is as follows. What if there was a lost Sonic game from the 1990s? Imagine a hidden Sega Genesis game buried in storage. A fan-made remake of the Sega Game Gear title Sonic Triple Trouble from 1994. Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit is a labor of love passion project created by a team of dedicated Sonic fans for the Sonic fanbase. Sonic Triple Trouble is a fan-made attempt at remaking the original Game Gear title in a style that's more in line with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, as you can tell from some of these said screenshots. It's a very interesting reimagining of the game. I've heard some people talk about this one, and there's been nothing but praise for Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. It seems to be a very solid version of the Game Gear title, adding in some new gameplay styles that weren't in the original game. Like, for example, we have the drop dash from Sonic Mania being added into the said game, a move called the strike dash as well. You can swap back and forth between playing as Sonic or Tails in a similar fashion for Knuckles Chaotix from the Sega 32X, where you can control multiple characters at once, but unlike that game, you can actually swap to these characters at any given time. You're not chained together like how you are in Knuckles Chaotix. New gameplay styles here that are introduced exclusively for this specific remake of Triple Trouble. And also other playable characters like Amy Rose is a part of this. I believe Knuckles is an unlockable, and same for one extra unlockable you get as well in the said title. And yeah, here's some of the cast. So you got Knuckles the Echidna here, Knack the Weasel, Dr. Eggman. Keep on scrolling down more on the page, you see some of the extra stuff you can do. But the big one I want to look at here on this page is actually this. There is a comic in particular made for this specific title. So if I can go ahead and look at the PDF version of it so we can actually read this here in full. This is a fan-made comic for Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. It's only 3 pages, so we can go through this real quick. And if I can zoom this out a little bit more so I can show the art proper. The art for this comic is really, really clean. It's in a style that's very similar to the Archie comics, and it's very expressive while telling a pretty good story for how the events here will start for Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. So let's just go ahead and read through this real quick, because again, it's only 3 panels, so it's not going to be terribly long. Might as well. Starts out with Knack the Weasel here coming in to Mirage Saloon. On today's work, blokes. You're rock, mate. And what have you got for me? Well, that was fast. You're in luck. I have a special client with a very special request. What do you know about the 7 Chaos Emeralds? Meanwhile, at Angel Island, we pop into Knuckles here, which looks like after the events of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Ah, so good to have you home where you belong. And I couldn't have done it without those two. That said, I still feel some strange energy. And then out of nowhere, what now? It's Metal Sonic, for some reason. Meanwhile, at Robotnik's lair, yet another perspective here. Amazing. The Emerald's power divides into positive and negative energy. If my readings are correct, the negative energy pattern is duplicable. With this knowledge, I could create my own assemble of emeralds. Harness the dark power of negative chaos energy, I could create dark emeralds. And all 3 of our characters at once unite in the thought, I need the 7 chaos emeralds. So throughout Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit, we're gonna have a 3-way race of Eggman, Knuckles, and Knack the Weasel here, trying to get the Chaos Emeralds. This is the plot going into Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. A very ambitious looking fan-made remake here of the Game Gear Sonic Triple Trouble title. Something I'm very interested in trying out for myself, again, as someone who's only played a very small amount of the Game Gear game. So, I think with all that said, let's go ahead and get the game started. So I'm gonna get rid of this feed. And now boot it up. Hey there, Matt. How you doing? I love the little animation there in the beginning. That was just very nice and clean. Now, I will mention this is in the style of a Sega Genesis / Mega Drive release. But this is not a Genesis ROM hack. This is actually a PC release, which is available on Windows and Mac. I didn't see any Linux version, but you can probably get this to work on Linux machines using something like Proton, for example. It's pretty easy nowadays to play a lot of PC games on Linux, even if they don't have a full compatibility on the platform. Not to mention, there's also an Android version, so you can also play this on your phone if you want to. And I think it benefits from being on PCs and, to an extent, I guess, also mobile, instead of being a Genesis ROM, because that allows the creators to do a lot more with Sonic Triple Trouble by not limiting themselves to just 16-bit limitations. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. First things first, I gotta look at the options here, because there's a lot of stuff you can tweak. In a very similar fashion to Sonic 3 Air, if you've played the fan remake port on PC for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as we have a lot of options to play with. Weather effects you can turn on and off. Frame rate for the special stages, you can go all the way down to 20 frames per second, which I don't know why you would do, but you could. I'm gonna leave it at 60. Aspect ratio, you can play in 4:3 or 16:9, so you can have that authentic feel of the original Genesis titles with 4:3, or play in the more modern widescreen, which I'll leave. Lives display, you can go between a classic or a mobile rendition. I'm gonna leave it on automatic, see how that looks. Unload textures is probably good for a very low end PC, but I don't imagine you having problems running this game on literally anything. Audio, you can change the super music, so you can have either the super theme play or the level theme play when you're transforming into a super state, which I love having the option to turn off super music, but I'll leave it on for now. Miscellaneous here is how you can modify other factors of the game. So Tails has 3 different playstyles if I'm not... Oh no, 2, excuse me. 2 different playstyles here for Tails. Sonic Mania or Sonic 3 Air, as the control scheme for Tails is a little bit different depending on the Sonic game in question. Knack/Fang, you can change his name because Knack the Weasel later on got a name change to Fang the Sniper, I believe is his full title. So you can go between the 2. I'm going to leave it at Knack. That's what the comic called him, so I'm going to leave it at Knack. Snowboarding control, you got short, skip, do the full thing. I'm going to leave it on full. Speed gates on or off. I'm going to leave that off because I don't know what exactly that means. Lives, you got classic or origins. So classic should be a proper life counter. Origins should be infinite lives, and just essentially turn that off. You can change your language here, obviously, which is nice. Free play is how you just basically do level select. You can have super forms on or off. Amy moveset is actually very interesting, as with Amy being a playable character in this. She has 3 different movesets. Her Sonic 3 Air moveset, her Sonic Origins moveset, and her Sonic Superstars moveset. And all of them do play differently, like Sonic Superstars gives her a double jump, for example. I'm gonna leave it on Sonic 3 Air for now. I'm not gonna be playing as Amy right now anyways. Jump lock on and off, that's an interesting thing. I don't know how that would work per se, but I'm gonna leave it off. Rumble as well if your controller supports it. That's all the different options there. A lot of options. Again, very similar to Sonic 3 Air if you played that PC port of Sonic 3 before. Gonna take a minute here to catch up with chat before I go any further. Ooh, geez, that sounds bad, man. I hope you're okay. Getting splashed with corrosive chemicals? Jeez. Again, yeah, I hope you're okay on that front, because that does not sound fun. Take care of yourself, man. Alright, let's jump in. Shortly after the Death Egg's destruction, the Master Emeralds returned to Angel Island. This game takes place immediately after the ending of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So this is after Sonic and Tails help Knuckles get the Master Emerald back to Angel Island, and now it goes back into the sky. Something's off, though. Why is there a storm all of a sudden? There wasn't supposed to be storms in our forecast. At least to my knowledge. This looks awfully ominous. So I can jump around here, hold down the jump button for the drop dash. I can hit, because I'm playing on a PlayStation controller, I can hit the circle button. Now swap me the Tails. I can go ahead and fly here. Which also means I can fly with Sonic, both for playing with Tails, and then also if I just jump and then fly with Tails as playing with Sonic, I can grab on and then control the character. Which is basically how it's been since Sonic 3. Nice grab. If the character's not on the screen though, you can't swap to them from what I'm seeing. Oh, okay, hi. Well, it's a good thing this is right after the fight with this robot, because Sonic still has the Chaos Emeralds in him. So we'll just take out the Death Egg robot here as Super Sonic. No big deal. Get him out of here. What do you have to say for yourself, Eggman? Well, it just knocks the super out of me. That makes sense. That was the Big Arms robot after all, at least pieces of it. Because Big Arm is like one of the only things in the Sonic franchise that can hurt Super Sonic for some reason. And that's what that's referencing. Here's Knack, just laughing. Alright, green turquoise. Now we're in the actual Sonic Triple Trouble game itself, because that intro section was exclusive, I believe, to this remake. That was not in the Game Gear game. Now, I'm gonna know like bits and pieces of the stuff that should be in this title, because again, I've never beaten Triple Trouble. I haven't played it in a few years, but at the same time, I at least know how the beginning of the game kind of plays out, and some of the unique stuff about Triple Trouble. Which we should be seeing some of those unique elements in this, like with, I believe, some of the minecart stuff from the Game Gear titles, that should be in this. I'm gonna take the top half here. It's always good he's in the top half, after all. Can I fly after getting one of those pulleys? Well, I can still fly, though. It's not going to stop me. Triple Trouble's best Game Gear Sonic. I've heard that a lot, yeah. Of all the Game Gear Sonic games, it seems to be the one with the most polish. Nice homing attack, by the way, because I believe that's what the shield gives me. It's essentially a pseudo-homing attack. It's the same shield from Sonic 3D Blast. That's why I recognize it. So if I'm near an enemy, press the jump button again, I'll do a homing attack. Was that an actual Triple Trouble? Because something tells me no. I think that's the fan game adding that in. I'm gonna swap the tails here, because I don't know if I can land on these platforms. Oh, I can. Okay. Just gotta get close to them, and then they show up. Look at that, special stage. I knew there'd be something up here. So, I believe these special stages are new for the 16-bit take on Triple Trouble. I don't believe this is how they were set up on the original Game Gear. We're racing against Knack. And our rings are a timer. If they hit 0, we lose. And if Knack obviously beats us, we also lose. So it's a race to get to the Chaos Emerald. Thankfully with Knack nowhere near me, I'm not even going to bother using the lightning power, because that looks like it will just stun Knack if he's nearby. Oh, and here's the plane. Alright, this is what the actual special stages, I believe, from Triple Trouble actually play like. You fly the plane. I've heard there's one negative, though, about this fan remake of Triple Trouble. The plane hitbox is massive in this one, because I believe in the Game Gear game, Sonic was the only thing that had a hitbox. The plane did not. Although, that's not the case in Triple Trouble 16-bit. I've seen people get hit with the plane wing. So, that's a whole different argument. Oh, there's our little weasel. Hey there, Ethan. How you doing? Yeah, okay, so I was right about the special stage being entirely different. Because, yeah, that... How was the special stage in original Triple? It's been years, so I don't remember what it was in terms of setup. I believe it's just you fly a plane and just collect rings to get the Chaos Emerald. I think it's that simple. Yeah, I'm reading chat now on that one. Let me pause for a second. You have to get 50 rings, then find a Chaos Emerald monitor, and then you go through sparkling lights. So even getting the Chaos Emerald was different, like to get the Chaos Emerald special stage. This one's set up more like Sonic 3, which is just the special ring. Oh, what the heck? Did I jump off this? Oh, okay. It's a spring you jump. Where's Tails? Thank you. Kinda needed you. Okay, so that was the first one. I'm curious about what the second variant special stage would have been then. I need to play the original Triple Trouble, probably after I beat this, just to get like a comparison between the two. Because again, it's been years. I never beat it. I think the furthest I ever got was past the train stage, which is after World 2, so it's not much. Second one's like a maze. You have to go through before the time runs out and fight Knack and a boss. Okay, that's very different. I don't think that's in this at all. Oh boy. Come on, I'm trying to jump, but it's not easy to jump in that specific situation. I'm better off just avoiding the bumpers altogether there by running. Alright, so you can still hit Knack with the lightning power if he's not on screen. That's a good thing to know. Now we get into the plane. By the way, all you can do in this is run and jump. There isn't anything else that you can do as the player here. So you gotta interact with these powers if you want to stop your rival. I'm liking these special stages, though. These are pretty fun. It does kind of give me a little bit of the Sonic 3D Blast special stage vibes, except they're not extremely easy where you don't have to try. Like, those special stages are known, at least with the Genesis version, they're known to be probably the easiest special stages in the franchise. You have really no challenge in those special stages to worry about. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, these special stages do seem a lot better because there's an actual goal that you're trying to go for the whole time instead of just get the 50 rings, so it makes it different. I also love that invincibility here has a timer on the screen, and I imagine speed shoes are going to have the same timer mechanic, so I can actually tell when my powers run out now, instead of just guess it from the music. Another nice quality of life. Place is changing vibes a lot right now based on where we're at. It's like a seasonal change. I want to go up here, actually. Hey, Kara, how you doing? Oh, hey, and there's special ring. I'm just finding these by accident. Okay. I didn't see that little bump there until it was too late. I gotta go for rings now. Can't let these rings hit 0. I'll lose. Give me my plane. I like how this plane just comes out of nowhere in these special stages, because you're running and then all of a sudden, Tails just pulls this plane out when you fall down a pit. That doesn't even make any sense. He's got Sonic's plane on speed dial. This plane is so big on the screen, though. It's kind of hard to see things if I'm too high up. So I kind of want to stay low so I can actually see things before I run into, like, bombs, for example. Oh, that slowed me down, but it didn't matter. I had, like, a good 5 miles ahead. Hey, Simply, how you doing? Yeah, there's a lot of creative liberties taken with this one, Hero. A good chunk of the game is pretty faithful in terms of, like, the level structure and such, but yeah, I would not... Oh, I missed my little bonus game there. That's whatever. A lot of the other things about this, there's a lot of changes with 16-bit Triple Trouble. I would call this almost a completely different game in some areas. I don't make that a bad thing, because the game we're playing so far is actually a pretty solid game. Trying to see what I can hit there if its head goes away. So I was hitting the cannon pieces before. It's a little hard to hit, but that's more because of my angle coming in. Okay, so you can destroy the cannons. That's one less thing to deal with. Can I hit him with my flying? Yes. Now I have to wait for the head to be out so I can actually do damage. And with Tails, I can get 2 hits. As long as he does the same thing as I'm doing. There we go. Oh wow, that capsule comes down almost instantly. I'm used to the official Sonic games when that falls from the sky taking like a good 30 seconds. Okay, where'd you get the bomb, Knuckles? Well, at least I have a convenient minecart down here to take. And now we're in the Sunset Park, our second world, including minecarts. Oh, you actually can't move off of those platforms. That's really nice. Because I was afraid I was going to run off as soon as I landed on something that narrow. This feels very much like Chemical Plant. Like, that layout is literally just Chemical Plant Act 1. Do I have enough rings? No, I believe that is going to be a 50 ring check. I will say the flickering shield effect from Sonic 2 is an interesting effect to bring back, because this is definitely the frame rate tester. Watching in 30 frames, you're probably not seeing this correctly at all. It's one or the other. Either it's fully solid or it's half solid. I don't like this flickering shield effect, personally. Like, it was an interesting idea for Sonic 2, but I'm glad they didn't really do this again after Sonic 2. Because the flicker's a little aggressive. That's not a complaint to this specific fan reimagining. It's just, that's my complaint with the shield design from Sonic 2, in particular. That just looped me back. Okay, well, I see a thing down there. Hang on. I'm getting that. Oh, nice timing for me to get the invincibility. Lasted all of 2 seconds. Far enough ahead, I should probably go for the rings. Those rings are also inside those bumpers. How are you supposed to get those? I think there's just some rings you probably shouldn't go for. And the ones that are above a pit, I'm gonna opt to not grab. Unless I got a plane, obviously. That hitbox is so wide, I was able to get both the rings and the speed booster, and it was nowhere near the ring. Like, that set of rings I shouldn't have grabbed, but alright. I would have had invincibility if I didn't clip it on the way into the special stage. Now I'm glad I went backwards briefly there. I wouldn't have found that ring if I kept on going forward. I was gonna say, we kind of need some momentum. Not losing the shield. Kinda like having a homing attack. I could probably just cheese this whole section. The fact that I can swap on the fly between the two different characters really does make certain sections trivial. You want Sonic for speed, and then Tails for everything else. Alright, so here's your bonus stage. This reminds me a lot of Donkey Kong Country right now. Just, I don't know where I'm getting that from. I don't know. Not the cannon shooting me straight up into collectibles or anything. Oh, there's a second set. And a third set. And a fourth. Wow, this goes on for a while. I'm honestly fine with that. 287 rings is more than enough to go through the rest of the stage. Get 2 1-ups out of that. And they're blue, so I wonder what that means. Is that like the blue ring from Sonic Mania? Oh, nope. That was just for the bonus game. Alright. I thought it was going to be like the blue ring from Mania, where if you take damage, you keep your rings. Or keep chunks of them, I should say. It doesn't destroy your ring count. So I can get them like, what, badges of 10, I believe it was. So they're easy to get back. I'm gonna keep Tails with the shield. Use my backup in case I lose rings. Case in point. I gotta wait for Knuckles to be tired. I believe if one character dies, then I lose a life no matter what. Thankfully, his set of tells are pretty easy to figure out here. And that's it. Okay. I thought there was going to be more. Yeah, why so angry? Just everyone wants the Chaos Elements for some reason. Oh no, minecart. Fails. Not now. Oh, that's a ceiling. Can't go any higher. I love every time I lose a shield, there's just another one around the corner. So I've been keeping this homing attack shield for almost every stage. At least drop dash is a really helpful way of getting momentum into one of those minecarts. You can't do that in the original Triple Trouble. To be fair, I don't even know how momentum works in the original Triple Trouble for those minecarts. Because I don't remember just jumping into them at random like that. I mean, I'm gonna be asking a lot. Is this like how the original was, or how much of a creativity this or that is for the 16-bit variant Triple Trouble here compared to the original? Because this is the first I played. After this stage, the rest is blind for me. I have not played anything past this specific world. And even then, I don't even know what to expect in this version, because this is my first time playing this version of the game. Oh, Fire Shield. So the elemental shields are in this. That's neat. Hey, Sheedan, how you doing? Sorry to say, you're not the first. Because there's already other people in here before you. Why are we still doing the first thing in 2026, beyond me, by the way? Nice launch base reference there. Wait a minute. Yeah. Better path. Also, Electric Shield. Definitely want that. This is one of my favorite shields. Just because of the double jump alone. Oh, a different type of special stage this time. So this is based off of one of the bonus games in Sonic 3. But you have full control of where the cannon shoots you, which is interesting. Can't hit. Yeah, it's like I can't hit that middle cannon. It's kind of hard to reach. Just like that actual bonus game in Sonic 3. Not that great. Also, I have Bubble Shield, but Tails has Electric Shield. Interesting. Each character can have a different shield. Really only something I probably would have seen right now because of the bonus stage. Yeah, you'd be surprised on that first comment thing there, Ethan. I see that a lot in videos still, which is surprising. That's been a joke that was run to the ground back in like 2008. Here we are, like close to 20 years later, it's still a thing for some reason. Nope. Okay. That just actively went away from Sonic and Tails. Oh, crap. I thought I can clear that. I will say, one thing that's a little off with these special stages is a little bit of depth perception, because it didn't look like I was that close to the bomb before I hit it. So, if you're not great with your depth perception in video games, you're probably going to struggle with certain things here. It's not that bad, but some things look a little bit further away than they are. I should probably hit that lightning, but I'm also low on rings, so yeah, I have to kind of make a sacrifice. And he cheats! Of course Knack cheats! He is literally going around every obstacle. Cheater. I should have hit the lightning. So I can try these games again if I want, it just takes an extra life. In the Sonic Origins setup, I believe it's a coin, just like the bonuses in Origins in particular, like special stages in that game. So that's a nice quality of life. Although, I could pause and hit restart here as well, I guess. I don't know. Wait, would that work? No, you can't restart from the menu, so you have to burn a life. Well, I guess if you know you're gonna fail, purposely let your rings drain to 0, because then there's no reason to continue if you know for a fact you're gonna lose. Then you can restart faster. Or you can also do that. Okay, I didn't know falling is an insta-death. Interesting. Gotta be careful with my jumps now. I missed every single one of those rings. A nice short hop gets me over the edge. That was a good idea. Pull back this time so don't get hit by the bomb. There's no way he's gonna win this time. The only way we can lose now is if we're out of rings or miss a jump. And I don't plan on doing either one of those. But I do need some rings, so can I get something? Thank you. I need more, though. These ring packs aren't really giving me enough. It's like I'm getting 2 rings. That's how little I have. Yeah, it's 5. It just feels like 2. I think we should be good now, though, because this is the ending. Yeah, we're good. Just enough. Yeah, I heard something about a Godzilla / Sonic crossover, which is very interesting. It makes sense that's happening, because didn't that Sonic Rumble game have a crossover recently with Godzilla? So they've already kind of had apparently some kind of partnership with the Godzilla brand for Sonic. At least from what I've last seen. I mean, I haven't played Sonic Rumble since my first time playing it back when it released. Because I just can't support a game with that many microtransactions. And it's still that bad from what I've seen. Either way, kind of a random crossover, but I do think it's still kind of cool, regardless. Speaking of, tomorrow, I already announced we're doing a multiplayer game, but I never really said which one, because I wasn't sure what to play on Thursday just yet. And then last night, they announced the Tangle and Whisper DLC's release date for Sonic Racing Cross World. The characters are coming tomorrow. Well, today, actually. They're already out. but there is a festival starting tomorrow on Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So I guess I know what we're doing for tomorrow now. We'll be playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. The mutuals are more than welcome to join for that specific festival. I believe there's actually some bonuses you get this time if you're playing with a team because of the duo dynamic Tango and Whisper have. So actually keeping that in mind for some of the point distribution this time, from what I heard. That's neat. I'm glad we got a fire shield. Didn't realize this section was full of lava. This is too easy. But apparently it's real. Okay, I was expecting that to be a trap. But it's not. Just an Act 3. It's an auto runner. I'm not controlling this right now. Sonic and Tails are moving on their own. You can go back and forth for some spacing. And obviously you gotta jump. I like the different looking platform there to tell you when you have to jump, and then also the sign saying that there's a warning. It's a good thing these are all birds. Imagine if I just freed a bunch of, like, bears or pigs. They would have nowhere to go. Yeah, I've also noticed that too, Ethan. Yeah, the Toho brand, they've been pushing a lot of Godzilla stuff these past few years, because I've been seeing Godzilla cross over with a lot of franchises. Oh, got TNT. What is this Wild Arms related act here? That's a Super Nintendo game. Get your Wild Arms out of here. Really good game, by the way. Highly recommend. It's been a few years. I gotta want to replay the HD version, because I've never played with some of the newer characters in it. Of course, one of our bonus games has to have the slot machine set up. Also, do those flippers have numbers on them? They do. They break after a certain amount of usage. Okay, well that's a clever way of actually forcing the player to move on. Well, I'm in here. I don't know what freeing the animals actually does besides makes me feel like a better person. There's no achievements for this game, so I would imagine if this had some kind of built-in achievement system, that would have been an achievement, freeing all the animals here in Act 3. Godzilla / Clue Board, okay. That's the most what the heck kind of Clue game you ever play in your life. Because it goes from Colonel Mustard with the knife to Godzilla with the flame breath. Again, they've been doing a lot of random crossovers from what I've been hearing. Really trying to push the brand as of late, I guess. I was gonna say, these are bumpers, right? And yeah, sure enough. Now the problem is I can't get back in the cannon. Oh, come on. There we go. I was gonna say, it actively went away from my location. Oh, they're in the middle now. And there's an ending, just like the version of that bonus game in Sonic 3. Get to the top of the screen, you're done. Let's even do anything if I had the fire shield still. I'm just saying, I could rub my face against the wall and it would probably mean nothing with the fire shield. Okay, well those animals are burning, so are those. I can't go back. I'm not gonna keep on doing these bonus gains, but for now, I'm just trying to see if there's any more variants. I think we've seen them all, because if it's like Sonic 3, there should be 3 of these. And we've seen 3. Wow, right on top of the cannon. That's a very terrible spot for the enemy to have been set up on. Okay, that's just unnecessary. Get wrecked. At least there's a second goalpost. I don't know what we've done without the second one. Alright, so at this point, I've not played past this part in the original Triple Trouble, so I don't know what to expect. I will say, those sound effects are ripped straight from the Game Gear Sonics. Oh, Godzilla's son gets kidnapped by one of the show-era enemies. Okay, so at least the Clue game makes sense in terms of continuity. But I think my idea is funnier. Just put Godzilla with the humans. Because that would just be so ludicrous, but also hilarious. But no, that setup actually makes sense. Okay, at least the tree branch respawns, but I don't need it. Well, I actually didn't want the special stage for once. I will say, this music gives me heavy, like, Michael Jackson vibes, which makes sense for the Sonic 3 association. That's probably what they were going for, specifically in that special stage theme. This is insane. We have so many lives. I only burned, what was it, 2 so far? I haven't died at all, but just 2 restarts on special stages. That's not bad. Sonic, stop getting on! You slow me down! He's just a magnet for my hands. What is this? Is that a speed booster? There it is. No reason to go up anymore. Doesn't look like there's any way to go over that wall. Yeah, Sonic is too heavy. I mean, that's actually a real mechanic. I'm not joking when I say he is slowing me down. That is legitimately a problem. Tails can fly a little bit faster without Sonic. You do kind of notice that for a second here. And as soon as he gets on, he does weigh me down a little bit. So I can't fly as fast when I'm starting up. But once I get my actual, like, peak speed going, you don't notice it anymore. Snack the Fang. I probably triggered so many people by combining his names on that one, but hey, it's fitting. I don't know why they changed his name, now looking back. Knack the Weasel to Fang the Sniper. And even then, that's still not it, because they changed it again. He became Fang the Hunter for Sonic Superstars. And then this is what happened to his career for like 20 years. He got buried in the ground, no one remembers him. I don't know why he had so many name changes. It's kind of weird. I think Fang is the more fitting name. But dropping the Weasel part's kind of weird. Because that is his animal species, and everyone else is named after their animal species. Sonic the Hedgehog. Miles Tails Prower is just the joke on speed, but then you get Knuckles the Echidna, which is saying what he is as well. So it's just kind of weird. I feel like I probably should have jumped to that top platform. Didn't realize this was gonna be another Angel Island into Hydro City situation. I want to sink down further into that mud to see their secrets, but something tells me I might also die. I gotta try at least once. Yeah, there's nothing down here. I knew it. I knew it. When I just saw that random peek inside the wall, I knew that had to been a secret, and 9 times out of 10, that structure leads to a special stage. Jeez, this Weasel's fast, though. Like, if you don't hit him with a couple lightning strikes, he will catch up. I don't think I have to worry about the distance factor anymore. He's too far away to win. So I should now just focus on getting the rings. Wow, that was so much easier in Special Stage 5. Legitimately, that was the hardest one. And that's it. Eggman has the last Chaos Emerald, so we can't get the 7 from Special Stages. So now when you see those rings, there's no reason to go out of our way from them anymore. If anything, they're going to probably do the Sonic 3 thing now. And if I find a ring and touch it, it's just going to give me 50 rings. So if I'm needing rings, it'd be still good to find the Special Stages, to be fair. Or they could just have nothing. Okay, it's the worst case scenario. They're a waste of your time. Remember how before I said it's really nice to have that timer on the screen for getting a power now? Really good when you get the music bugs that take away the music in particular for your power. So if you're going on the music cue for when it's over, guess what's gone? That is such a nice quality of life thing to have. And honestly, now seeing a meter for like invincibility in this, I want to see that in an official Sonic game. That is such a big change. This guy just looks like he's just vibing. Like, this snake is not even harmful. He's just here. Let me see if I can get something from the bonus game here, because I do want a new shield. Unfortunately, it's this one. So I get a lot of lives, but no shields. I'm just trying to get out of here at this point. I wanted a shield, not more lives. I'm good on lives. I can beat the whole game with these 24. I don't need more. Really? They put enemies down here, but they're just death. Oh, it was a switch. I can barely see that. Every time Tails comes near me with his fire shield, I think I have it for a second. And then I get sad when I realize that's not mine. Oh, that's a nice little touch. The life icon changes the character you're playing as currently. Oh, I meant to hit the checkpoint. I probably won't need it. Famous last words. Oh, you have the super peel out in this. Okay. I didn't realize that. Kinda just did that by accident. This is definitely a Tails section. That was a cool way of ending the stage. The fact that it continued after the boss was a very nice touch. Oh, and now I drown. Egg Zeppelin? Alright, that's a name. Gives me a lot of Wing Fortress vibes immediately. Alright, well, so much for my iframes. Swapping to a different character kind of removes your invincibility there. Because the character you swap to doesn't have those iframes. I didn't get hit. There's our first actual death in the game then. Oh, those lasers are very fast. What is this? Oh, crap, Sonic! See ya. It's a good thing I programmed open emergency hatch on this computer. I know that this is supposed to be a power from Triple Trouble. These are rocket shoes. And this is how you would play flying levels with Sonic, which is a very interesting idea. You can spin into a ball in this, so I can hurt enemies. But I like how Tails doesn't need the shoes, but he uses them anyways. Because he could just fly with his tails. I guess my shoes ran out of juice. I want to go higher than this. I've seen other stuff on the top, but I keep on going into the actual machine itself. Yeah, see, there's more flippers up there, but how do you get that high? Like, I need a lot of momentum, I think, to get up there, and I'm just not getting it. Oh, so that's the closest you can get from actual jackpot. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pinball one, but that's not a surprise. I don't like the pinball special stages from, like, Sonic 3 either. Like, the little slot. It's not very a pinball, but it has a slot. I don't really like that one either. Oh, that's not part of the background. That's an actual hazard. And that's a background object. Alright, well, a little confusing what's background and what's foreground here. At least Tails keeps the shield. Climbing animation, this kind of looks goofy. That's... oh god. I couldn't swap the Tails and then fly. It wouldn't let me. So you can't swap to him in an emergency like that. Good to know. As I was saying, the climbing animation looks goofy, but this is official. Like, these sprites are not custom. These are sprites from Sonic 3. So I believe that climbing is also... okay, no, maybe it is actually custom, because Tails looked very off. I know I've seen a climbing sprite like that for Sonic before, but this one for Tails is definitely new. Most of the sprites are from Sonic 3, though. Like, 100%. Yeah, I think it is trying to base those sprites on the original Triple Trouble ones. I think you're correct on that, Kira, because they're definitely not the Sonic 3 style. But everything else so far has been. Oh. Okay, gotta go. Only got 40 seconds. Oh, I thought I jumped on that spike. That is actually crazy I didn't. Hey, we're not done yet. The timer's still going. That's a dead giveaway. Ice cap? Robotnik Winter. I like how there was no boss for that stage, by the way. The boss was the engine room. At least it wasn't the engine room from Banjo-Kazooie. That might as well be an actual boss with its difficulty. That room, on the other hand, was just kind of waiting to get destroyed. Wait a minute. Can't go that way. That might be a Knuckles exclusive path, because when you beat the game, I believe you unlock Knuckles. And it looks like a lot of stages have the same kind of Sonic and Knuckles variant from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Where some paths are going to be Knuckles exclusive. Nope, I didn't want that actually. As soon as I saw it was Bubble. Tails, just please, thank you. How does Sonic hit that, not me? Also, it just sent you into a wall, so that was the most worthless spring. Wait a minute. That... Fire Shield. I thought that was our first pair of speed shoes. We haven't seen speed shoes at all in this yet, which I'm actually surprised. Oh, okay. Well, apparently the Fire Shield doesn't work against snow. Which made no sense. Oh, these are actual, like, pseudo springs, essentially. I jump off of the nose of the seals. That's cool. Also, everything in this stage is just wearing sunglasses. That's a vibe. Wow, how did I not get hit by any of the spikes? I don't think I'm ever doing a jump that perfectly into an Orbinaut ever again. Well, that explains the random arrow pointing to the left. Hidden spring. Oh, it's Knuckles. I thought that'd be Eggman because he destroyed my statue. Prepare to die. You know how many hours it took me to make that statue of me? Like Knuckles actually using his ability to dig in this boss fight, because he never actually gets the idea of doing that in any of the games where you fight him. But to be fair, you haven't really had a boss fight against Knuckles since the classic titles in general. After Sonic 3, he's always been an ally. Trying to see if we can juggle that sign like Sonic 3, but haven't been able to get it to work. Although, I don't know how I got a 50 ring bonus there. That is interesting. I love how with a punch of the fist, that's enough to make an avalanche. I mean, Knuckles is strong. Alright, so this is exclusive to the 16-bit reimagining, because this snowboard section, I believe, was not a thing at all in the Game Gear game. To be fair, I can't imagine a Game Gear doing this. This parallax scrolling effect would just not be possible in the Game Gear. This, I believe, is something you can skip, though, in this remake, because you can just turn it off in the settings. Also, I believe Tails got hit, and that's how I lost my ring, since I don't believe I was near that bomb at all. Yeah, only a boss in 3 Knuckles Triple Trouble in SA1. Yeah, that's pretty much it, because after Sonic Adventure 1, he was no longer a boss and has always been an ally. And even then, Sonic Adventure 1 with the same plot as Sonic 3 for why he was a villain for a very short time for Sonic, as he got tricked. But after that title, he learned not to get tricked anymore, so that's why that's no longer been a plot element. I would like to see that kind of be a thing again, because you always have boss fights with Shadow, as he's still your rival. And because of that, Sonic and Shadow are always fighting each other in a lot of different titles. The only other game, technically, you can have a boss fight with Knuckles is Sonic Advance, but that's like a very big technical. I gotta put like an asterisk on it. Because you're not fighting real Knuckles, you're fighting Mecha Knuckles, so it's just like a recreation. How long do you stay on the snowboard, by the way? Because this is actually impressive that we're playing a whole stage with this control. There you go, as soon as I said it, we got off. Almost feels like I'm supposed to be back on the snowboard there. That felt like a very snowboard-esque section. Oh, you can actually burn the ice here and make it a waterfall again. I don't think that has any gameplay reason for why you can do that or not. But it's nice visually speaking. Like, I was expecting when I burn that waterfall, I can drop down and maybe use that as a second path. But it's just a visual thing. I need Tails again for this. It's been really nice to be able to swap between the two characters on the fly. It actually does a lot to the level design, because now you have abilities to fly at all times that don't have to limit what you can do in these stages. Because you can easily play this game with just Sonic by himself, and if you ever do that, then the level design has to be altered so that Sonic can go in a lot of places. So because of having the swap mechanic be a thing, it does feel like I've been able to fly to a lot more sections that I normally wouldn't be able to actually explore if this was like a proper Sonic game. To be fair, we don't really have many team-based Sonic games. We have a few. But they only done this once in the 2D format, and that was with Knuckles Chaotix. I guess the closest we could say to another one of those formats was Sonic Mania Plus with the Plus mode. But that one's very, very loose, because you have to find a power, like swap your characters. And even then, the remixes of stages that were designed to not let you hot swap on the fly, so... I kind of want a game like this. Officially, again, from Sonic. I'm a sucker for Sonic Heroes, man. It's one of my favorites in the franchise. The black sheep of the franchise to a lot of people. A lot of people don't like it. I do. I just want to see another one of those types of games at some point. We have multiple playable characters. And you can just swap between them with a button press. Because we haven't seen that in so many years. Again, closest was Mania Plus's extra mode. And even that was not really the same. Man, that snowboard put in some work. Oh, I missed the ring. Yeah, this boss is a little tricky because of it being an auto-scroller. If I can keep the board for longer, that will make the fight a lot easier. Because I don't have to do anything. I can get a lot of hits with the board. Well, Tails also lost it somehow, so now we're out the board. Okay, barely got the hit. It really does help now to know I can actually destroy those robots before they land. I thought they were something that would hurt me no matter what. I was trying to avoid them before. Once you realize those robots are something you can destroy, this boss becomes a lot easier. This is a very long elevator. Yeah, I want to get enough speed to actually go on the water itself, which is probably just a spin dash. And I immediately failed that. Okay, but it just leads to a special stage, which at this point doesn't matter. Let's see if we can stay away from the water for a while. Okay, well that's a knuckle path, so water it is. I was gonna say, let's try to stay away from the water, as that's normally the slower path in a Sonic game. I don't think it's gonna matter if my AI version of the character dies, but I don't want to myself. Oh, this does eventually stop. Okay, good. I didn't want to hit the ceiling and pop the bubble. Why is Tails upside down in his? I know the bubble here was introduced in Triple Trouble, but I've played this kind of mechanic before, as the bubble flying around has been a thing brought back for, as we were talking about before, with Sonic Mania. That was a nice slope jump. That got me a lot of momentum. And then this feels like the conveyor belt setup from Sonic CD, like a Wacky Workbench, or not Wacky Workbench. What was the other level? Quartz Quadrant, I believe it was. I think it's been many years since I played CDs. I'm trying to remember the level where the conveyors were featured. I think it was Quartz Quadrant. Workbench was the infamous trampoline level. So, it's definitely not that. Speaking of those games, I heard some very sad news this week that, unfortunately, Sega's discontinuing the Android and iOS versions of the Sonic mobile ports of Sonic 1 and 2. So if you don't own them, get them now before they're gone forever. Those are known to be the best versions of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. They've already sunsetted Sonic CD a few years ago. I think that's also getting delisted on storefronts as well for Android and iOS. So again, get that one too. Because the Christian Wayhead versions of the classic Sonics are still considered the best, even with Sonic Origins. So to see them getting pulled is very sad. I know a lot of people didn't like playing the games on the phone, but to be fair, if you had a device that played that stuff on the big screen, you didn't really have to worry about the shortcomings of a touchscreen. So it was by far the definitive version of those classic Sonics. I have them archived myself, so I'm not losing access, and I have access to decomp versions of those games on PC. So I can still play the mobile ports on PC, because I have the files. And that's technically, I believe, considered the best way of playing those games now, as you don't have to deal with the touchscreen stuff, for one. But it's just sad to see those getting pulled. I don't understand why they're getting pulled from mobile stores, as now I don't think there will be any official Sonic 1, Sonic 2, or even Sonic CD versions on mobile platforms, and for years that has been a thing. So they're just now getting pulled with no replacements being announced, which is really weird. Yeah, we were talking about Sonic 1 and 2 are being delisted from Android and iOS very soon. I don't know when exactly those are supposed to be delisted. I don't remember what the date was that I read, but it's within, I think, a few weeks at most. So if you don't own those versions already, get them. I believe they're already supposed to be getting their ads removed because they made them free to play at some point. And then there was a paid upgrade to, like, I think it was like $3 to remove the ads. So that, I think, like, some people have reported that they've already gotten the free version to work without ads, but other people have not. Like, I loaded it up myself and there's still ads if I'm playing the free version. I gotta kill my mobile data entirely or Wi-Fi just to remove the ads if I'm playing with the free tier, which was always a cheat code to get rid of them anyways, which saved you like $3. Unfortunately for my case, I got Sonic 2 for free years ago via Amazon when they were giving away a lot of Android apps, and it was through their storefront. But guess who discontinued their storefront not that long ago? So it doesn't really matter I have that game on the Amazon App Store when the Amazon App Store no longer exists. So that version is just lost media, at least for me. So I'm thinking of maybe just picking up the mobile games myself, just to have it in the account going forward on my Android device, at least. Then it'd be very easy for me to pull the data off of those if I ever lose the APK file or something. But yeah, PSA, go get those mobile ports now if you haven't already, because if you want to play them going forward, it's going to be a lot harder if you don't own them, because you won't be able to look them up soon. Man, 4 rings away from having an extra life from that. That would have been 3. Oh, it's Fang the Knack again. I know many more people upset with that crossover, but it's still accurate. I wish I was able to get that ring. Oh, we're doing this again. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about the ring if he got completely buried. Oh yeah, I agree on that one too, Kiro. Like, the whole mobile gaming thing is something I never got behind myself, even with pairing a controller to the phone. It was always a mess. At most, if I'm playing any kind of game on my phone, it's gotta be something I can play one-handed. So it's usually some, like, simple kind of game, like a puzzle game or something. It's never anything, like, too complex. The Sonic games were the exception to that rule to me, just because, again, the mobile version of Sonic 1 and 2 were just so good, and they had more content than the original versions that I made exception for those. And they're very easy to control anyways, with the D-pad on one side and one button control for jumping and spin dashing. So it was the only real game I didn't mind the touchscreen control system for, but any other game I just can't do it. Also, nice submarine. This is not from Triple Trouble at all. I believe this is from Tails Adventure, actually. Like, there's, like, similar things for that game. That or Sky Patrol, but I think it's Adventure. He has, like, a submarine drill thing. Because this is actually a Game Gear reference as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, because I don't have much experience with the Game Gear Sonics outside of a few levels per game. Yeah, and also, we were talking about that yesterday, too, to go a little bit more in your Fire Red Leaf Green discourse. Yeah, the internet got a whole uproar. I'm not going to go into the whole thing again, because there was so much we talked about yesterday in the stream. But, like, a TLDR, yeah, there's a lot of people trying to rage bait by saying, I have my version right here, and they're emulating the games on whatever they got. Which is like, yeah, more power to you at that point. You play it the way you want. You're really not part of the conversation when you're doing that stuff, though, because that's just rage baiting. As most of those people are just posting a screenshot of a game being played on an emulator for clout. As most of these people don't even launch it past the title screen. I've tried doing that before with like some of the Pokemon games or other GBA games in general, Game Boy stuff. I've tried emulating on my phone, and I've played some games like that, but I've never really been able to finish them like that in general. The touchscreen controls is really the thing that pulled me out of it. I just can't do touchscreen gaming at all, as mentioned before. Oh, I didn't realize I could do this. I just pressed circle and I was just starting to drill forward. Well, that makes this a lot faster. I also don't lose all my rings from getting hit. I'm only losing 20. That's interesting. Okay, what do I hit then? Nothing. I hit Knuckles. Okay, didn't expect that. The worm was the threat for the whole level. Then suddenly Knuckles. Well, I can hold the button here. This makes that so much easier. I was spamming the tornado button, but you don't have to do that. Ah! Okay, plot twist. It wasn't Knuckles we were fighting the whole time. It's Metal Sonic in a Knuckles costume. And then he become Knuckles. And what's going on with the real Knuckles? We'll probably find all that out in the actual Knuckles story run through, if I had to bet. I like the remix here of Stardust Speedway. And of course, it's gotta be the Japanese version. Because to be fair, that is the better version of the song anyways. Oh, what the heck, dude? I didn't know that can kill you. I was noticing I was getting hit sometimes when he didn't have his electric barrier up, so his hitbox is a little weird. What's the point of him taking this rock if it's just gonna jump out and fight us? Metal, you don't really make any sense. Ah, crap. Yeah, you really can't grab the rings in this. Yeah, as soon as you get out of ball form, you are very vulnerable, and the problem is you get out of ball form pretty fast. So after the second hit, I gotta pull away immediately. There's just a random ring, though, after he gets out, and I don't know why. Ah, come on. Every time. I keep on missing my own rings every time. I might just want to take the safe route on him only one time now. Oh, there's a ring. Didn't know that was going to happen again. Seems like after the third shockwave attack, there's like a random ring on his side of the screen. Oh, and speaking of, thanks. Well, at least the boss fight's over. Atomic Destroyer. What a name. Oh, I was wondering how that works. Like, wait a minute. When does the bridge have to respawn? It moves with you. Oh, this is gonna be an anti-grav stage, isn't it? Because that's the anti-grav. Yep, sure enough. That's the anti-grav switch setup from Sonic Advance 2. We're getting a lot of use out of invincibility right now. Well, that's a new Def Egg robot. Yeah, it's a really different design for the Aggro Ball. I wasn't expecting it. But honestly, it works for a stage like this. It's very menacing looking. What? Okay, random terminals. I'm just like, what? Arcade machines in my space stage? I can see that's an outside area. Yep, sure enough. I knew it. Well, we're swapping right the tails so I don't have to do any of it. That's a lot of level I don't have to play. Looks like there's a little internal feud here between these two. I'll let Knack do his job. I'm not gonna get in the way of that. I hope you can hold on for the rest of your life. This is not gonna end well if you don't. That was a strange room. Oh, Metal's back. I'm just gonna jump over here just in case you still hurt. Wait a minute. I want the ring. There we go. Okay, that last theme was a lot more chiptune focused, but this theme... This is a banger so far. It's kind of like a rock rendition on the Genesis. Well, a little bit of some techno thrown in. I'm hearing a lot more techno now, actually, listening to it more. Where are we going? Trying to duck there, but unfortunately I got a spin dash out of it. Oh, this is kind of like a Titanic Monarch situation. I gotta go through each path to make progress here in this level. Nice fake out spring up there. That's just so random. Okay, the random anti-grav section there was very pointless. You were an anti-grav for all of 2 seconds, so I don't know why that was an anti-grav. Oh, I barely made it out of that section. I thought I was gonna get crushed by doing that drop dash. I'm gonna wait here because I definitely will be getting crushed if I try to jump between this stuff. Trying to land and not hit every spring in the air. That was a little weird. You don't even have to jump on the top of those warps. Because just touching the side is sending me back to the checkpoint. Oh, I didn't see what that was. We're not in the Eggman symbols anymore. Oh, poison goop. Can't go any higher up. The ceiling is dangerous. Can I get like any of my rings? No? Okay. Just have to get new ones. I thought they were gonna fall. Why did my rings not come back down? I guess that could have been an anti-grav section, because now I'm in anti-grav. But the spring on the ceiling tells you anti-gravity is coming up. And that's all the sections, so now what? Is there a fourth one? Sure enough. A little too close. That's a tiny robot. And then now he's getting bigger. Oh, it's a super robot. You can tell because he's yellow. When do you drop this barrier, though? Thank you. I couldn't do anything until that barrier dropped. Alright, that did a lot of damage if he exploded. And I have less platforms, so I should swap the tails for a safety net. Also, it's not a great idea to attack the robots now. Wow, what a stun lock. So I was afraid of that when I was trying to get my rings earlier, because, yeah, clearly it does look like that's a crushing section. Although, that was a checkpoint, doing enough damage to the super robot, because now I don't have to do the first section again. There you go, you have to jump to make that clearance, but beforehand, that was a bad idea, because I hit the spike, like I comboed. Sonic just doesn't know what to do in this section, which is fair. He can't fly like me. I'm really glad about that checkpoint, because that... I mean, the first part of this wasn't that long. It would have been terrible to redo, but having to do that every time would have sucked. Alright, here we go, round 2. Now there's less area for me to run, but he has a new attack now. Oh, that goes a negative Chaos Emerald. Fire. Ah, crap. Yeah, the one time he hits a capsule and that burned Knack's rear end. Quite literally. Oh, at least Tails got the ring, because, yeah, we're going to a boss rush. And it's gone. 'Cause I imagine it's gotta be a boss rush, right? Did I get a ring? Nope. Okay. I guess I'm doing all this with no rings now. And it goes as well as you expect. Well, now knowing that this is gonna be a boss rush of some kind, get all the rings. I really hope I get more rings, because yeah, I was gonna say, I knew it! As soon as I lose my ring, then I get hit. But then Sonic finishes off that phase of the fight. Thanks. Insult to injury. But that first phase is a joke. This is where I wish I kind of had the instant shield. That would make this a lot safer. Now I gotta do this with no rings again. Gotta be careful of that middle. Oh, the fire still lingers. Oh, well, that's bad. I say I need to be careful of the middle once I break apart that robot in the second fight here, because that will be a hitbox at all times now. I'm taking it safe here so I don't lose the rings. It's only 8 hits. Oh. That's why I got hit before. He spits fire when he's transitioning the phase. Oh, that's just not fair, man. You have to corner me. Yep, every phase he does that. Problem I'm just having is there's not enough rings to start, because 3 rings do not go far. But they also technically do, because when I get hit, they are all over the screen. So I have no time to grab them if they're pretty much on the edge. I hate getting hit on the right side because my rings are just gone. Oh, how did that not hit him but hit me? That's a good thing we stockpiled on lives getting here, because I wasn't expecting this boss fight to give me this much trouble. It's not very it's not a hard fight per se, I'm just getting really unlucky with these attacks, pushing my rings out of bounds. Okay, barely. I was worried that ring would have just left. Oh, now I get a checkpoint. I kept on dying right before the checkpoint. That's a mood. Oh, this is a little bit of the final boss of Sonic 1 here. Okay, he does go slower eventually. I was wondering, how do I hit Eggman? He's going too fast. Oh, that's new. Should be going slower now. There we go, double hit. He just flew up. There's no machine, he just learned to fly. And give me the emerald. Thank you. Oh, so that's what happened to Knuckles. He was just randomly locked in jail. But it's not over yet. Gotta deal with Metal Sonic. He kidnapped the Weasel. And he gets the negative Chaos Emerald, which I guess gives him a super form? Alright. Well, that's a problem. Can't really fight him. We don't have a super form of our own. We have no rings. And now he's just kicking us when we're down. Now he wants to combine the real Chaos Emeralds with the fake one and make the rest of the negative Chaos set. So this is very much like the end of Sonic Adventure 1, where Perfect Chaos splits the Chaos Emerald energy, just taking the negative energy, but we use positive energy for the Chaos Emeralds to become super. I imagine that's what we're doing here. Hey, Sonic, wake up. Sonic. Okay, good, because I don't know what we would have done if you don't wake up. So this is a new boss fight, because this I don't believe is anything from Triple Trouble. This is entirely original. My question is, what do I do here? Oh, I can shoot his balls back at him. So I have a boost ability, which is very similar to the Super Sonic and the end of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I remember they get rings, though. And now I can just boost into the actual body. I'm getting wrecked here. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about health at all in a super form. That might be it. Oh, never mind. He just found a bunch of scrap, and now he's, Scrap Sonic? Like, what is this? More scrap? How much scrap do you need? Oh, okay, now it's just super big. But to be fair, that makes you easier to fight, so that was a mistake. I don't have to do anything but stay at the top of the screen. That makes this super easy. Oh, button masher. Just gotta push back his energy back into the core. Although, I'm still draining rings out of this, and that's a little punishing. So if I got here with like 3 rings, I'd probably die. At least give you some rings during the mashing section. And that is it. Super scrapped up Metal Sonic is gone. I believe that's supposed to be something related to one of the comic Metal Sonics, if I remember correctly. I don't know if that's supposed to be a nod to Mecha Sonic, but I remember hearing something about it's a reference to something a little more obscure. That's why I don't really know exactly what that Metal Sonic's supposed to be. It might be a Knuckles Chaotix thing too, but I've never played Chaotix, so I can't really say. But yeah, that's it. That was Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. And that was a really solid reimagining slash remake of the original game. In some ways, it didn't feel like the original at all, which is actually a good thing. Even though the original Triple Trouble is a really solid Sonic game, it wouldn't translate that well to 16-bit, outside of obviously a graphical uplift. So adding a lot more unique and new mechanics into this version, I think was the right call. Because there was just a lot that was going for this game. It felt really good control-wise. The drop dash is obviously nice to have. Homing attack, having the yellow shield from Sonic 3D Blast, that was really nice. Elementals were really fun. Special stages were just a complete overhaul, and probably for the better. Just a solid remake all around for this specific title. And I could have played this probably so much earlier, because I've known about this 16-bit remake for a few years, but I never knew when it actually released until a few weeks ago. I thought this was still in development, because at one point, news about Triple Trouble 16-bit kind of went radio silent for a while. And it's because, you know, it's a fan project. Something like this is not something that's going to be always in active development because of time management issues and all that. You're not getting paid for something like this. So, as a developer, you have to work on the project when you have the opportunities to do so, which is why a lot of fan projects take many years to complete. So, this released, I don't know when exactly this came out, but it's been out for a bit now. And it's probably the way nowadays I'll tell people to play Triple Trouble. If you want the original experience, by all means, go check out the original Game Gear game. It's very easy to play with all of its different re-releases over the years, but I think this is just a better take of it. It feels so much better, and it has a lot more content too, as this was only just one playthrough. Now that we've beaten the game and done it with Super Sonic, we should be unlocking some extras, and we still had another character in the very beginning we could have played as, because you can play as Amy Rose from the very beginning. I think you just have to go in the free play for that. But you only have the first level available in free play, so you still need to do a story run, regardless. But yeah, Knuckles is a playable character, and we should be getting him after this, and then I think there's one other character as well. I'm not going to spoil who that is if you don't know yet, because I'm probably going to do a couple playthroughs of this. I don't know if I'm streaming them all. Not tonight, obviously. But maybe we'll revisit this here in the future. But yeah, this is a really solid remake of the original Triple Trouble. And probably how I'm going to be playing it going forward. Just in general now. thanks for playing. Thanks for making a great game. Seriously, this is a really solid game. I recommend it to anyone. And here we go. There's our Knuckles unlocked. So now we can play the whole game via Knuckles' perspective. Or you can just, play him as free play mode if you don't care about the story. But here's the other thing we unlocked. This is why I was keeping it secret. Knack is a playable character as well, but he's unfortunately only a thing in free play. No story for him. I hear the Knack playthrough, though, is actually pretty interesting because we'll show it off really quick. Let's go to free play. Because you can play as Sonic and Tails, Knuckles, Fang, and then Amy. I want to try Fang here really quick. Fang's got a gun. That's what makes him interesting. He can just shoot up bosses. I hear the train level's really easy when you fight the train at the very end because you can just sit there and shoot it. So, very unique. He has a double... No, actually, that's a triple jump. So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can jump 3 times with Knack. Slash Fang. I'm gonna keep on mixing his name up because I know more is Fang now. But they called him Knack originally. Can the gun shoot the wall? Yeah, so this acts like a spin dash. So he's pretty powerful. And then Amy really quick to show that. I'm gonna use her Sonic 3 Air variant for now. As, I've played with Amy in Origins and Superstars, but not really in Sonic 3 Air. Sonic 3 Air, she has the Insta-Shield, which also transforms into a bounce attack. As long as you hold the button, you can keep on bouncing. Other than that, Pink Sonic. Her moveset's gonna be the same, just her jump stuff is the stuff that changes between her gameplay styles. Because Sonic 3 Air has the bounce like this. Sonic Origin will just be this, which is essentially an insta-shield with the hammer. And then Superstars will be a double jump. So when you press the button, you get any double jump with Amy. So depending on the style you play as, it would be a different thing. I've heard the double jump is the best way of playing with Amy, though, just because it's a double jump.